Please take a moment to increase the brightness on your device for optimal viewing. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sketchy Friendler, where every day I tell you a story and I draw you a picture to go along with it. Today I'm going to tell you about all the craziness that happened the day we had to get out of town because of Hurricane Ian. But before that, let me just cover some stuff real quick. Yes, I am drawing in blue pencil. Do not fret. I will start using regular pencil shortly. Just bear with me. 2, if this is too dark for you, just crank the brightness all the way up on your viewing device. And 3, if you're on your cell phone and the image seems too small for you, just tilt your phone horizontal, and then the image will fill up the screen and get a little bit bigger for you. With that, let's do this. So, as I was saying, the day that we had to get out of town because of Hurricane Ian approaching, it was very frantic. There's a lot of last minute things. We had to get things squared away. We actually were planning on leaving before for Anna, my daughter, and my medical care. But because of the approaching impending Hurricane Ian, we ended up rescheduling stuff so we could leave a little bit early so we wouldn't have to run into like any kind of traffic or blocked roads or anything like that should that happen. Because at that point, we didn't really know what was going to happen. We just knew we needed to make a decision whether we were going to go or not. But after doing some research, following some of the predictions and weighing out a lot of the different possibilities, it was determined that we should probably just make our way down to where we're going to go originally, just leave early. So that said, that last day that we were at our house was totally nuts. Not only do we have to pack our regular stuff, clothing, and all our supplies that we're going to take, we had to pack more stuff because one, we didn't want to leave like perishable stuff behind because we knew at very least probably this house would lose power, and we didn't know for how long. So it just made sense for us to just get as much stuff out of the fridge that we could bring down in the freezer. And we also needed to basically batten down the hatches. And the house that we're at doesn't have storm shutters. They have these big giant wood boards. And so we were going to we called my wife called all over the place to try to get, some handy person to help. And no, of course, nobody was available. So we attempted to do that ourselves. And we found out that it was not as easy as we thought. First, I had to pick up the right kinds of what do you call them? Bolt stuff to bolt the stuff to the wall, wood to the wall. And then when my wife was using the drill, the bolts were not catching. Some of them were and some of them weren't. So after going back and forth with the landlord said, if you can't do it, then better just to leave all the windows without any coverings. Because if it's too loose, it could also do damage. Because if it gets sucked off or it smashes, the windows, that's not going to be good either. So just hope for the best. So we, these giant wooden boards are just real backbreakers. We had to go back and forth. Yeah, that was tiring. And I think I went to Home Depot 2 or 3 times to get all the right stuff, and then it ended up not working, and it was very stressful. In the meantime, when I was out getting stuff, my wife was basically playing Tetris with all of our patio stuff, and by herself. She's a strong woman, but that was just, I think it was too much. It was too heavy, and she was definitely sore after that, and I can see why. I wish she had waited, but time was of the essence. The wind was starting to pick up. We didn't know what was, you know, how bad it was going to be where we were. Um, and because of all the stuff that we had to move around, it was really like, I mean, very precarious. Like using like bungee cords and tie downs, and just getting all the tables and chairs together was tough, because we had to balance everything and just make sure it was also like secure and solid too. It would couldn't be like crazy things just being held down by little strings. It had to be very solid, like one giant metal piece comprised of all the chairs and tables and all sorts of pool stuff. And uh it was it was pretty crazy. um I'm impressed with my wife's spatial awareness, because she was able to get a lot of it together, and or at least, if she couldn't get to it, she directed me, um, to like where to put stuff and move stuff and pull stuff, and that was I'm impressed. That's all I can say about that. Um, it was of course, we always, whenever we leave for something, it's always like it ends up taking longer than we originally thought it would take. So that was also stressful. We're trying to get everything done before nightfall, and I think we barely made it by nightfall. That was tough. Because we didn't, we had a drive ahead of us, wasn't we were going to drive several hours after that to get down to where we needed to be. So I'm trying to think. Like, I think we didn't eat as much as we needed to eat. Like, we thought we'd get some food on the road, but one of the things about Florida is when you get onto the road, the highways or the toll roads, um, there are large sections of the state that, like, there's nothing. It's like swampland. Basically, it's just swampland. And so if you miss your opportunity to get supplies, gas, or food, you basically are kind of out of luck till you get to the next rest stop, or where there's civilization again. And the thing that happened was, one, we left town before we got anything. I mean, we had gas, we had enough gas, but we ended up planning to stop at one of those rest stops, because there was a Wendy's or something that was at one of them that was open. But by the time we got there, even though on Google it said that it was open, it looked like it had been closed for hours. I mean, so then we still didn't have anything to eat. And It was definitely very frustrating. But I don't know. I feel like I wish we didn't have to leave under those circumstances. On the one hand, I think it was bad timing because we had planned this trip months ago, and of course, just that particular week was when Ian hit. So that was kind of unlucky, but it was also lucky because where we ended up staying, it was calmer than had we stayed home. There was more damage that happened that we found when we got back than once we got home. There was damage, minor damage, but more damage than where we're at. Like nothing happened at the place we're at, but we had some screens get blown out and power went out, so we lost everything that we had left behind in the freezer and refrigerator. So that was kind of a bummer. And then there was some minor leaking from the roof in one of the rooms. It didn't drip down, but it definitely stained the ceiling. So now we have to get that taken care of. We had landlord hired some guys to go up and check out what happened, and I guess the wind had sucked some of the, what do you call it, like seals near the chimney. I know it's Florida. Don't ask me why we have a chimney. I don't know. But I guess it was like kind of a one-off thing, or if it gets super windy, that's when that happens. So I guess they sealed it up, used a bunch of caulking and sealed it off so that wouldn't happen again. So that's good. And yeah, so at home back here, it was a little bit more damage. It was more windy here, but for the most part, everything was fine, and definitely in no way near as devastating as what happened to all those people at Fort Myers, Sarasota, that whole Gulf side of the state, which we are not on. So we were lucky this time. And again, just thinking about all those people who have dealt with or affected by Ian over on that side of the state, and sending positivity your way. But it hasn't. The one thing that I've noticed since that week, it has not rained at all since that storm, that hurricane came through. At least not here. Maybe elsewhere, but not here. I thought that was interesting. It's been really muggy though, like more muggy than I've experienced this year. Like outside, it's almost like walking into a shower or something, or sauna. That's annoying. I'm not good with. I'm not. Heat is. I'm okay with heat, but Humidity is always what usually gets me. Not good with humidity. So I'm usually where the AC is or in the pool. But we haven't been able to go in the pool because we don't have a heated pool, so it's a lot too cool to go into the pool right now. So that's a bummer. But I hope we don't have anything major like that again this season. I don't know if I could deal with it. I mean, I guess I have to deal with it, but I would prefer not to. But I think hopefully we'll be a little bit more prepared to at least kind of know what to expect. Because I've never been in a hurricane in Florida before. I've been in a couple of typhoons, but haven't been in a hurricane. And it's interesting to see like how other people around here deal with these types of situations. Like some people I think are too kind of don't really take it serious enough, and I think unfortunately it's kind of a gamble if you do that. I'd rather be a little bit more cautious and look foolish if nothing happens. But I feel like we were lucky that we had already made plans, because had we decided to leave town, right when the warnings were happening, it would have been too late, because everybody else was trying to get out of town too. So, yeah, it was just an interesting week. Definitely an interesting week. Very stressful for a few different reasons. Some that we were anticipating because we had already planned this, and then others because it was just completely uncharted territory that we were just sort of trying to figure out as the new information became available. But it's just one of those experiences that can add to the material that I draw for you guys, and that's always a plus too. The more experiences I have, the more I can draw for you guys. So anyway, that was the day we had to get ready for getting out of town before Hurricane Ian struck. Hopefully we won't have to do anything like that again anytime soon. So just so you know, I do this Monday through Friday on YouTube and Facebook. Then on Saturdays, we post a poll where you get to pick one of the drawings from Monday through Friday that you want to see me ink and color in on a live that I do on Sundays on YouTube and Facebook. Instagram, I post the previous drawing of the day completed or finished drawing, and you can take a look at that if you just want to see the finished image. And then on TikTok, I've got a whole different set of drawings that I do. They're time lapse. They're about 2.5 minutes long. They are just a short little thought or story that I have, and I take it all the way up from these pencils into the inking stage. I'm also doing Inktober over there, so you get 2 posts every day over there, and those are about a minute long. Check it out. If you could follow me or subscribe on any of these platforms, that would be awesome. I appreciate it. I'm really trying to expand on TikTok and YouTube, so all the help over there would be totally appreciated. And I think that should do it for the day. Let me just sign off here. And I just want to, again, reiterate that I enjoy spending time with you guys. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time.